when I first entered the program at ATC, I was making a step down in custody levels. I was coming from the Department of Corrections. So I was really excited about making my first step towards earning my position in the community. I've become a mentor and somebody that can lay down an example for others and just lead by example and be that person that people can talk to. I mean, I don't know. I just love to use my lived experience to aid others and let them know that if I can do it, anybody can. It's a different environment than DOC, but if I was going to really top off my re-entry into society, I was going to have to gain acceptance and learn how not to be reactive to everything. So therefore, I solidified those two things in myself in order to be able to excel in that program. ATC, you're going to get exactly what you put into it. And if you work hard and you have the desire within yourself to change and that's what you want, then they can afford you that opportunity. Well, it's imperative to have a reintegration step in one's recovery and in one's process because it is a process. And me, myself, have never been offered a rehab or some type of treatment. They just said, you're going to DOC and it's just a matter of how long now. So this time I really utilized the reintegration tools that you guys afforded to me to prepare myself to be a successful person in society. And mainly because I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And I had that desire to be. But without something like this, you will get spit back out into society and you will fall right back into the same old song and dance. And you're going right back to prison or whatever have you. And now with the fentanyl crisis and everything, potentials are you could die.
Yeah.
Very high probability in dying, because of your addictions change. You could go from methamphetamines, you could go from marijuana to methamphetamines right into fentanyl or heroin and then fentanyl, and then you could die.
Yeah.
I was lucky. I didn't do those things, but I went to prison. Prison was my fentanyl every time, 4 trips. So therefore, without to get back to your question, without the reintegration process and to have that available to people, they're doomed, essentially. To have it as a diversion, that sometimes helps, but I think it helps more for people coming out of DOC because it's a step down in their custody levels.
Yeah.
I think it's more effective for people coming from DOC, to be honest with you, because they already have a little bit of set structure that they know what is expected of them, and they kind of have an idea of where they're going or what they want out of life. Coming to ATC, the way you guys, like I said, going back to the way you guys are structured now, that is gonna afford them the I guess the come to Jesus moment or the light bulb.
Yeah.
And something is gonna pop out at them. Hopefully there's more guys like me that go through the program because I really pulled a lot of guys under my wing and showed them the ropes and said, I'm going to show you what I do. And hopefully you lead by my example, because as far as I'm concerned, my example is working for me well.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to show you something you don't already know, but I'm going to show you a way.
Yeah.
And that's why I hope that I can eventually go in and talk to some of the clients in person in a group setting, kind of like an open forum recovery group type deal, and just to share my story, because a lot of them know me.
Yeah.
And by seeing me and where I started, where they knew me to where I'm at now, can really say, hey, that would be that come to Jesus moment and say, hey, if that guy can do it, anybody can do it. Understand that this life is clearly not getting any easier. This world is not getting any easier out here. And let's try to understand what developed these people into an addict or into their addictions and their criminal behavior or whatever the case may be. Let's try to understand that before just sentencing them or or worrying about what they did wrong now. Let's try to understand what built up to this.
Yeah.
Because if any judge I ever went in front of knew where I came from and what I dealt with, they would have said, well, hey, you know what? We understand. Don't do it again.
Yeah.
That's what they would have told me. But it doesn't matter now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad. They're just doing their jobs, and that's just what it is. But I would say to legislation, let's try to understand what's wrong. What happened first? What are the things that led up to this addiction? Because nobody just woke up one morning and said, you know what? I'm gonna go buy a bag of meth and I'm gonna become a full-blown addict overnight. Nobody did that.
Yeah.
This began with a coping mechanism and somebody saying, this will make you feel better. You don't feel good. This will make you feel better today, now, tomorrow. And then next thing you know, that becomes I've been at it for over 20 years. Almost killed me, literally, physically, emotionally, mentally. And I was just coping,
Yeah.
trying to figure out what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? I had to go to prison 4 times and I still struggle every day.